Over the years, a few cruise products have earned a permanent place in our luggage because they actually make a difference when we travel. But packing for the Caribbean brings its own challenges. You need protection from the sun, something for the rain, and gear for the time you'll spend at the beach or in the water. And at the same time, you don't want to fill your bags in your already small cruise cabin with things you'll never use. So in this video, I'm walking you through our Caribbean cruise packing list, and I'll show you what we keep in our carry-on, what we pack in our checked bags, and which products we actually use during the cruise. Oh, if we haven't met yet, I'm Evan from Family at Sea. If this is your first time watching my channel, I'm glad you're here. And if you've already been here a while, you already know how much I appreciate you. If you're ready, I am. Let's go. Before we dive in, a quick heads up. Some of the links down in the description are affiliate links. So if you decide to buy something through them, I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. But just so you know, I'll never recommend gear I don't personally use and trust. Everything I'm sharing in this video is stuff I've purchased myself and genuinely believe will make your cruise better. So if you do use those links to support the channel, I truly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the list. Let's start with your carry-on bag because what you pack in here can have a big impact on embarkation day. The first thing you need to keep with you is your passport, birth certificate, cruise documents, and any other identification required for your sailing. Do not put any of that stuff inside your checked luggage because you're going to need those documents before you ever get on the ship. If you're planning to use the pool, hot tubs, or water slides, I also recommend keeping a swimsuit in your carry-on or just wearing underneath your clothes. Your check bags may not show up at your cabin until later in the day, and nobody wants to spend the first few hours of their cruise waiting around for luggage. You also want to make sure that any prescription medication stays with you as well, preferably inside the original labeled container. Checked bags can be delayed or occasionally misplaced, and medication is not something you want stuck inside one. It's also a good idea to bring a little more than you think you'll need in case something delays the trip home. I also recommend packing a full change of clothes. Travel days have a way of getting messy, and having something clean to change into or to get ready for dinner can be a lifesaver if your luggage takes longer than expected to reach the cabin. But whatever it is, my rule is pretty simple. If you can't afford to be without it during the first few hours of your cruise, keep it in your carry-on. Once your carry-on is packed, it's time to deal with the checked bags. Now, you don't want to bring your entire house with you, but there are a few things that are absolutely worth the space in your bags. Before we get into what you're packing, let's take care of the bags themselves. I recommend picking up reusable luggage tag holders like these. Print your cruise line tags, slide them inside, and attach them before leaving for the port. I like these in particular because the plastic protects the paper and the metal cables are much sturdier than staples. One thing I always toss in my suitcase is a set of magnetic hooks. Most cruise cabin walls are metal, so these give us extra places to hang hats, lanyards, wet swimsuits, or whatever else is cluttering the room. I like this set because they're small enough to pack easily, and the magnets are strong enough for the things we actually want to hang from them. If you plan on spending any time at the pool, be sure to pack a few towel bands to keep your towel from sliding down or blowing off the chair. You just stretch one around the towel and chair and you're done. I prefer these over bulky towel clips because they take up less room in your suitcase, and this pack here comes with 6. I've tried a lot of luggage over the years trying to find something that actually holds up to real travel. Because here's the reality. Most sets either look great but don't handle heavier packing well, or they're durable but heavy and not practical. But eventually I landed on the luggage that I use now, which is from level 8, and it's been a really solid fit for the way I travel. Guys, this is the luminous textured large bag in navy blue. It's big enough for bulkier layers and heavier clothing without feeling oversized or hard to control. The wheels are smooth and quiet even when the bag is loaded down, so whether you're at airports, on shuttles, uneven sidewalks, or long piers, it rolls the way you expect it to without fighting you the whole way. The shell is polycarbonate with a textured finish that hides scuffs well, and after multiple trips, it still looks noticeably better than a lot of bags I've owned that show wear almost immediately. There's also a 20-inch, which is what this is, and a 24-inch that, depending on what my needs are for any given trip, I'll use one or both of those in addition to the larger bag. But inside, the layout is simple and practical with compression straps that hold everything in place, and the space is easy to work with when you're packing jackets, rain gear, and layers. Now here's the truth. I've used more expensive luggage from bigger name brands, and honestly, These have held up just as well, but without the inflated price. They're durable, easy to travel with, and don't add friction to the trip, which is exactly what I want when everything I need is inside them. If you're interested in checking these out, I'll put links below where you can grab them on Amazon or directly through Level 8's website. And if you do order direct from their site, you can use the code FAMILY@SEA to get an extra 10% off. Nobody wants to start a cruise wondering where their suitcase went, so we put an Apple AirTag inside all our bags so we can see its last known location in our Find My app. It's useful at the airport, but we also like checking that our bags made it onto the ship. It won't prevent lost luggage, but it can give you a much better idea of where it ended up. I'm a big fan of packing cubes, especially when we're sharing luggage. They keep everyone's clothes separated and stop smaller items from disappearing to the bottom of the suitcase. I love that these have mesh fronts so you can see inside without opening them up. And they also come in a variety of colors, which makes it easy to assign one color to each person or type of item so you can easily grab the right cube without digging through everything. One of the quickest ways to turn a great port day into a stressful one is watching your phone battery drop into the red when you're nowhere near an outlet. Because let's face it, your phone isn't just taking photos, it has your ship schedule, excursion details, maps, and it's probably the way you're staying in touch with everyone traveling with you as well. That's why I always travel with a portable battery bank like this. I've tested a lot of these things over the years, and this is the one I keep coming back to. It's compact, lightweight, has built-in charging cables, and plugs directly into the wall when it's time to recharge. I actually have 4 of these things, and every time I stop by the cabin, I just grab a fully charged one and plug the used one in to recharge. And if I'm honest, this is the most important thing in my bag besides my passport. Another thing I never cruise without anymore is a cruise-approved power hub. Most cabins just don't have enough outlets, but the tricky part is that not all power strips are allowed. And some cruise lines have tightened the rules recently. But after a lot of trial and error, this is what I bring now. It's been compliant on every cruise line I've sailed because it has no traditional outlets, just USB. One of the first things I typically do on any cruise is set up a charging station with this where I'm able to charge every device we bring with us on our travels. So between this and the portable battery packs, these are 2 of the most essential items we bring on every cruise we take. If you're worried about getting seasick, anti-nausea wristbands are an easy, drug-free option to pack. You wear one on each wrist and the small button applies pressure to an acupressure point. Now, they won't work for everyone, but some cruisers find them extremely helpful and they don't cause drowsiness that come with some of the medications. And some people swear by these, and they're cheap enough to try, but if I'm honest, I'd still bring a backup plan if you know you're prone to motion sickness. And if you'd rather not wear wristbands or you're looking for a 1-2 punch against motion sickness, these herbal motion sickness patches are another easy option. You just place one behind your ear before you board the ship and swap them out every 2 to 3 days, and their light mint scent helps keep motion sickness at bay. What I like about these in particular is that they're waterproof, so you don't have to worry about them coming off after a day at the pool. A waterproof pouch may not be the most exciting thing you pack, but is one of the things we use constantly in the Caribbean. And I'm not talking about a little phone sleeve with a plastic window. This one is large enough for my passports, phone, cash, credit cards, and anything else that's small enough to fit in here. So whether we're at the beach, exploring the ship, or caught in a quick rain shower, I can toss it in my day bag and know everything important stays dry. Next up are the Nordiv 8 water shoes. If your cruise includes a beach day, snorkeling excursion, waterfall adventure, or anything that involves walking into the water, these are absolutely worth packing. Because some cruise destinations have beautiful beaches, but not necessarily soft sandy bottoms, and trying to navigate rocky shorelines barefoot can get painful fast. I'm looking at you, Ocean Key. What I like about these Nordiv 8 shoes is that they have a real rubber sole with good grip and enough protection to keep rocks and shells from digging into your feet. They also drain and dry quickly, so you're not sloshing around in wet shoes the rest of the day. And unlike cheaper water shoes that fall apart the first time you use them, we've been able to use these time and time again without issue. Caribbean rain showers can show up out of nowhere, so we always keep a few ponchos in our day bag. These are individually wrapped and take up almost no room, but they're waterproof, durable, and large enough to pull over your clothes or backpack. And you get 5 in the pack for less than $20, so it's a cost-effective way to keep yourself dry, and they're even biodegradable so you can throw them away when you're done with them without the guilt. This is one that never makes it into my luggage, but my wife absolutely loves it. Whenever we're exploring a port, this bag is usually slung over her shoulder because it's the perfect middle ground between carrying a big backpack and trying to cram everything into your pockets. Has enough room for her phone, wallet, sunglasses, charger, cruise card, and a few other essentials, but it's still compact enough that it doesn't feel bulky walking around all day. What she likes most is that it folds down into almost nothing when you're packing, so it takes up very little space in your suitcase until you actually need it. One of the easiest ways to ruin a cruise is with a bad sunburn. Whether you're spending the day at the beach, relaxing by the pool, exploring a port, or just sitting on an open deck at sea, it's easy to get more sun exposure than you realize. And the reason I like the spray version is, well, it's simple. A lot of people skip sunscreen because they don't want to deal with a mess, but this makes it easy to reapply throughout the day. It's one of those things that you won't think about until the damage is already done, and by then it's too late. Polarized sunglasses are one of those cruise items that people don't always think about until they're already wishing they had them. Because between the water, pool decks, beaches, and hours spent outdoors, glare can be surprisingly intense even when it doesn't feel especially sunny. But polarized sunglasses cut through that reflection so you can actually see what's in front of you instead of squinting all day. They also make everything from spotting wildlife to enjoying the view from the ship a lot more comfortable. And there's a lot of different options out there, but not all are created equal. So I found some that are good quality, but also budget friendly, unlike a lot of polarized sunglass brands. This next one isn't exactly the most glamorous cruise accessory, but if you've ever dealt with chafing on a hot day, you know how miserable it can make a vacation. Whether you're walking around a cruise port, spending the day at the beach, or just dealing with the heat and humidity on board, a little friction can turn into a lot of discomfort surprisingly fast. What I like about this one is that it goes on like a deodorant stick, so it's not greasy and it doesn't make a mess. You just apply it before heading out for the day, and it helps prevent the problem before it ever starts. The Caribbean is hot year-round, and one thing that can actually come as a surprise to some people is just how much time you'll be spending outside even on sea days. And whether you're walking across the pool deck or through a port, exploring a private island, or waiting in line for an excursion, it can get uncomfortable quickly when the heat and humidity kick in. What I like about this neck fan is that it keeps your hands free, it's surprisingly quiet, and it moves a lot more air than you'd expect from something this compact. The battery life is also excellent, so it'll easily get you through a full day ashore. So by now, hopefully you found a few cruise essentials that can make your next vacation a little easier, a little more comfortable, and maybe save you some money along the way. But here's the thing, no matter how well you pack, the people you cruise with can have just as much impact on your vacation as what's inside your suitcase. And here's the bad news. Whether you stay on the Caribbean, Alaska, Europe, or somewhere else around the world, every cruise comes with its own cast of characters. Some of them will make your vacation better, while others will test your patience. And if you've cruised before, you already know what I'm talking about. But the good news, that's exactly what my next video is all about. In it, I'm breaking down the 12 types of cruisers you'll meet on every cruise, from the people everyone loves having on board to the ones you'll spot from a mile away. So don't stop here. Once you finish packing, click that video next, because I have a feeling you'll recognize more than a few of them, and you might even identify with a couple of them yourself. I'll see you over there. If you're ready, I am. Let's go.